Good evening, YouTube. I haven't made a video in probably a few weeks. I think the last one I made was on Thanksgiving. Never fails, I have at least one little random stray hair, either on my hair or my beard, just randomly going somewhere. I had the COVID for the third time. Not fun. I just wanted to talk about today, the topic being productivity. Sometimes it's hard for us to get organized. I find myself sometimes not being able to finish the things I start, so I will procrastinate or get distracted or other things. Case in point, not making a video for a while. Not that really anybody watches this, although my cousin, who has several thousands of TikTok followers, hopefully, if she promotes it, maybe some of y'all will be watching this, and maybe, you know, I will break double and triple digits on views at least. That'd be really kind of cool if she would direct people my direction. That'd be kind of cool. Well, one way that I do keep my life organized, especially having a non-traditional job, is I set my own personal schedule. I get up every morning at 4 a.m. Well, I get up at 3:45 to start work for 4 a.m. unless I have a reserved ride that happens to be even earlier than that. And I have my clothes laid out with my socks and underwear inside my shoes, my belt and wallet chain already through my pants, and my shirt and hoodie sitting on top of that. The only thing I need to do is grab my wallet, and I have a bag that I carry that has several things that I carry throughout the day, like has a pill fob in it with my medication for the day. Also has a comb for my beard and my hair. Has a backup set of utensils in case I'm ever out and about eating somewhere and they don't have plasticware. It also has, let me see, cologne, in case I smell bad. Has eye drops because, one, my eyes dry out very easily in general, and two, I had LASIK eye surgery 2 years ago, which is why I started carrying a bag in the first place, because the first week after LASIK eye surgery, they make you carry 4 different types of eye drops, and they give you this little toiletry bag to carry it around in. So that is the reason I even started carrying a bag. And then I noticed, you know, it shouldn't be gender specific, but something like a girl, where it's just like, all of a sudden I had this bag and there was more and more things that I was like, I could use these throughout my day. So now I have all kinds of things in my bag. But that bag is part of my organization process that keeps me on track as somebody who's ADHD. And, once you get yourself in a routine, you kind of crave structure. Something I started trying probably about 2 months ago, was I created a daily checklist sticker chart, similar to something you might have in kindergarten. I had some tasks that I wanted to do every day. Do a daily, Bible study, devotional, spiritual time, whatever you may do in your personal religion or whatever faith may be. I put that on there. I was doing 10 knee push-ups a day because, I mean, to be honest, I've been fat my whole life, and even when I was skinny, I never had core strength, so I got to start, you know, you got to walk before you run. So I had to start with knee push-ups, and was going to eventually work my way up to your standard push-ups. And I was doing them every day. 1 hour of studying for the IT certifications that I'm working on. And there were a few other things on that list. Some changes I had made to my diet. So, like, if I went a whole day without eating carbs, that was something I marked down. But I put 7 spots on that chart under each activity. And I found some cool little panda stickers because bears are my favorite animal, and pandas are probably one of my favorite types of bears. So if it works for 5-year-olds, it'll work for 35-year-olds. Anything that can give you that little bit of happiness, that little bit of little rush of dopamine. I'm 80% sure that's why we refer to drugs as dope, because they hit dopamine receptors. But it's also why we get excited about our favorite television show. It's also why we get excited about chocolate. It's also why we get really excited about that little sticker on the chart. So little things that can give you those things. I'm not the best at house cleaning and stuff. One way to be productive and to not be overwhelmed when you have to do a large task like deep clean a house that has been very neglected, like mine can be a lot of times, is compartmentalize. Start with one room, but let's say you've got a lot of things down. Like, let's say you're helping a child clean, and you've got a combination of trash, clothes, and toys all in one room. Don't just start picking up randomly. Push everything into one pile. And that will give you a sense of accomplishment, because the outer edges of the room will seem clean by comparison. And that'll be your first little reward right there. Next, I start with something that I would consider important. I would go with clothes. Get that out of the pile, because it's things that need to be washed, taken care of. Get those out of the pile. Okay, and you've accomplished something by getting the clothes out of the pile. You've also, you look down and that pile is smaller. 2 little rewards right there. Next, I would go on to toys. Get all the toys out, wiped down if they're dirty, which they probably are if they've been running around with dirt and everything like that. But now that pile is even smaller, and the toys are put up and organized and everything, and now the only thing that's on the ground is trash. Well, one step further before you sweep, what I consider bulk trash. Bulk trash is, this is an extreme case. This is if your kid or you is just, you've neglected this room. This would be things that are big enough that you're not really going to be able to sweep them up. Pizza boxes, 2-liter bottles. And I really hope that nobody's house is getting this bad. Mine has before, but really hope it's not for everybody else. But you get the point where I'm coming from. The bigger things that you're not going to get with a broom, that probably would just be easier just to reach down, grab, pick up. Get those things, and that's another little mini rush right there, is now all those big, medium to big items of trash have been picked up. Last little thing, the minor little things, the dirt, the dust, the little tiny items can be swept up, and voila, you've cleaned a whole room, minus the wiping down and dusting and things like that. And every time you did something, you got that little sense of accomplishment. Do that with anything. Compartmentalizing is a good way to break anything down. If you feel overwhelmed that you got a whole week's worth of work, just think, well, I've got 7 days. I just got to make it through today, or 5 days really, because it's work. I've got 5 days, so I just got to do this one day. And you make it through that one day and go, I've only got to do this 4 more times. You make it through those 2 days and you say, I just got to do this. What I just did these last 2 days, I just got to do that 1.5 more times. I used to do that while riding a forklift in the chem plant when I was out there. I'd have a 2-hour rotation of sitting on a forklift, getting off for 2 seconds, pressing a button to open a thing for a robot, going and moving a crate, coming back, pressing a button again to reset the robot, getting back on and off the forklift, and doing that probably about 70 to 80 times in a 2-hour period. And it wasn't very strenuous, but it was boring, monotonous, and 2 hours of it just was blah, just terrible. Not the worst job in the world, can't say it was. And it served its purpose while I did it. I'm grateful for it. But even during that 2 hours, I'd make it through that first 30 minutes and go, that wasn't that bad. You just got 3 more of those. And then that first hour would go through and be like, what you just did, you need to do that one more time and you'll be done. And then you go on to your next task, which might be something a little more tolerable, like cleaning out the balers or putting labels on crates. And even then, those tasks, I mean, just because everything was 2-hour rotating segments, I still did the little compartmentalizing of the time frame thing. It's what worked for me. I'm still no longer contagious, no longer quarantined, but I still got a little bit of the sniffles and the cough and a little bit of fluid built up in my ears. I can barely hear out of my right ear, but no longer contagious, back to working, which ain't no rest for the wicked. You got to work. I love what I do, though. That's one thing I've been blessed with is it's not exactly a good career because there's no future in this, which is why I'm studying for some IT certifications. But there is, for the time being, I would recommend it to anyone. If you need a temporary, even to a several year situation to figure out what you're trying to do, and you don't care about the wear and tear on your vehicle, or if you are in a situation where you don't have a vehicle and you would like to get into a situation with a rental, it's going to be more expensive a little bit, but you're also going to make way more money to go ahead and take care of that more expensive car situation. So, any questions about it, always hit me up. But I just wanted to, one, share a video about the fact that I hadn't made a video in a second. I'd like to welcome anybody, if anybody comes from my cousin's TikTok, because she should be promoting this, because maybe she'll see this and she'll promote it. And just to discuss a topic. And that's really all this vlog is going to be, is me rambling mostly coherently about a topic every day, or every couple days, or maybe even every couple weeks if things get in the way. Thank you.